Hello, welcome to a new video on the tmullafx page. In this video, I'm going to be going through exactly the best sort of strategy for beginner traders looking to get funded or looking to get started in trading. Of course, I know there's lots of strategies out there, ICT, ICC, lots of different sort of strategies out there, but a lot of them are not very beginner friendly when it comes to someone that's just getting into the market, wanting to see what the best ways are to actually gain capital and actually increase their consistency rate as well. Because of course, it's great when you bang a one to eight trade or 1 to 4 trade, but then at the same time, if it's not consistent, then it doesn't really make any sense. So I just want to basically break down this video based on what I've been doing. Of course, like I said, there's no perfect strategy, but just based on what I've been doing and what's been working out for me on my top step combine as well. If you're new to the channel, I'm actually doing like a challenge going to 10K a month using funded accounts. So just make sure to follow the series, drop a like right now, subscribe right now if you haven't already, and go and watch the other videos where I'm documenting every single step of the way. So this strategy will allow you to hit trades just like this, with a decent risk to reward as well. But like I said, I want to break everything down to you step by step also, right? Now, I want to show you what the stats look like as of now for the top step. Like I said, I've been doing the challenge. It's been quite funny in terms of the videos I've been posting on my Instagram as well, tmullafx. Go check that out on Instagram. I'm posting every single trade as soon as I enter it, so you can see everything. As you can see, profit factor for 1.2K up on the challenge so far, 90%, win rate. And that's why I know myself, I like to win. When I start losing, then the psychology could be affected, but I actually like to win. So once I start winning, as you can see, I won 10 trades and lost one last week for the 3 days last week. That is what's going to give me the drive to actually keep going and keep pursuing. And of course, worst trade was 400. That unfortunately hit my stop loss as well. So a lot of the trades, I'll be totally honest, they've been like a few 1 to 4s, but majority of them are even like some of them are 1 to 1, 1 to 2s, etc. As well. As you can see, 650, 400, 114. I'd even trade on this day. So we're going quite well on the challenge so far. But like I said, the main reason for this video is because I want you guys to be able to have a strategy that's more consistent in terms of you winning more trades than losing trades, right? So let me just go into the details of that. Like I said, last week gold was amazing. The price moved accordingly as well, and that's the beauty of this strategy is it allows you to go with the trend. So it's not like I want to say it from now. It's not like a strategy where you're on like the 1 minute time frame and it's going up and down like that sort of high frequency trading. Is more like the larger time frames. You go into the 1 hour time frames, etc., and take a look as well overall. So like I said, I'm going to show you for both futures and Forex as well. So let me actually start off with the Forex chart so you can see what it looks like overall, because a lot of the strategy works on both sides. Honestly, it works on the Forex market and the futures market. You're just basically looking at market structure, looking at past trends, etc. as well, to actually have the best sort of entry. So the number one indicator I like to use is actually Ichimoku. Hope I'm even saying it right. Ichimoku Cloud is actually the best indicator that I've seen in terms of consistency as well. Oops, what I just moved just now. Is actually the best indicator that I've seen in terms of consistency, because honestly, it just allows you to enter at the right sort of times as well, depending on the time frame that you're trading on. Also, so on the graph as of now, I have the Ichimoku. I have the sessions map out as well, which I see is very, very critical in my case, is because of course you have a understanding of when each session is, but there's nothing better than having a chart open showing Tokyo session, New York, London, everything, which is part of the strategy I actually used in this past week as well, taking a look at past market structure, even going all the way back to time frames like the 4 hour charts as well, just taking a look what it looks like in different sessions and how to actually capitalize on it too. So honestly, like I said, it's honestly a great strategy that I've been using. I've been seeing a lot of a lot of success in terms of consistency, and I believe consistency in my case is very, very key. Like I said, a lot of people, they recommend, okay, you have like a 1 to 8, 1 to 7, 1 to 6, which is a smart concept, because once you lose one trade, the next trade can get you that other win, times 6, which is great. But that's only great when you're actually winning. When you're losing, that $400 you're losing on a combine that you only have like drawdown of 2K is gonna lose in like 5 trades, and that's if you don't hit none of the trades, then yeah, it means your strategy is bad, of course, but also you need to give yourself enough time based on what I've seen. So if you are doing a combine or you're doing like some sort of funded account, or you have 2 accounts, which is what I'm going to do as well, I recommend having like a higher frequency sort of account, and then you have another account where it's more slow paced, you're more consistent, you take the higher time frames, your stop loss is further away, so you can actually ride the wave and ride the trends as well. Anyway, like I said, let me just get straight into this. In terms of strategy, it's very, very simple. It's not something that takes ages and ages to understand, but it's just mainly about market structure. All right, great. So let me start off with Ichimoku Cloud. So Ichimoku Cloud is actually pretty good. Of course, on the hour time frame, it does crossover. So often the way it is when the red line crosses over the green, is going to sell a lot of the time. Like I said, it's not 100%. Sometimes there's middle grounds, etc. But a good majority of the time, when the red crosses over the green, then it's going to sell. When the green crosses over the red like this, is going to buy. So you have to look for where the crossover may happen, and then have the right sort of entry, which allows you to have these sort of like sniper entries like this one at the top. Like honestly, it's crazy. Of course, it's the 1 hour chart. When you go to the smaller time frames, you'll be able to see it much clearer as well. As you can see, crossover. Even on, you go into the 30-minute time frame, you see different sort of crossovers. Basically, it's basically insinuating that next week is going to dump. So let's see how that works out as well. So it's actually been quite consistent. Like I said, I like having that lower lows, high highs on the charts too, because what it does is, even though I know where they are, I'll rather see it, so I know, okay, that's a low, I can see it as it's happening, so I know when my entry is happening. I like to make my life so much simpler than these two. It's like, yes, you know a bit about trading, even if you know the basics, different concepts, etc. But when you see it in front of your screen like this, I know to a lot of people this graph is chaos, like what is going on, like this is too much. But for me, it just allows me to map out exactly what I'm looking for. Like, even if you look at last week here, let's even go to like a smaller time frame, because I know a lot of people trade on smaller time frames. If you look at these graphs right here, it's like it maps out everything for you. It maps out the sessions, it maps out the highs, it maps out the lows, and it basically gives you and verifies where your entry should be. Because like I said, I've seen a lot of concepts, I've seen a lot of trading strategies with different approaches, but I just feel like this is the most consistent in terms of understanding market structure and actually getting into trade at the right time. Now, let me tell you another thing. So what I've also been doing is tracking different sessions. So often I've seen, if I go into the larger time frame, often I've seen that in mainly Tokyo session, for a while actually, in GBP USD has been dumping quite a lot. As you can see, we go Tokyo here, dump, Tokyo here, dump, Tokyo here, dump a little bit, not too much. Tokyo here, big dump, Tokyo here, dump down, Tokyo here, dump down. So I've been seeing a lot of, look, Tokyo here, dump down, consistent. So that's why I've been most of the time trading Tokyo sessions mainly, and then holding until London, because London is a give or take. Often it dumps in Tokyo session, and then London pumps it back up, and then dumps again into New York session, etc. So like I said, I've seen London often be like a buy sort of setup a lot. Of course, there are sometimes that London dumps, maybe news or something's happened, but a lot of the time London actually pumps up. Yeah. So like I said, that's another thing I've been looking for. Like I said, this is all like beginner guide. If you, even for experienced traders, yeah, it just allows me to see the chart much better. And I just hope it helps you guys in terms of actually solidifying your entries, because I think that's the key thing that even I'm working on actively myself, is trusting the trade and knowing it's going to go the way I want it to. Like, say, this trade right here, look at that sniper sort entry 1 to 3. I could easily have made this more, so like a 1 to 5, and I saw the chance to do that. I saw the market is going to go that way, but like I said, that's where psychology comes in, and that's where that consistency focus comes in as well. Because like I said, I'll be more than happy to only take a 1 to 2, 1 to 3 if I get 90% win rate on each trade. Of course, each trade is like, maybe you win $500, $400, etc. So it may not be the highest, like some people making 1.2, 3K in like 1 minute or 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is, but it allows me to know when my potential next payout would be. I rather stack up slowly, gradually, get to the 10K mark, get to the 5K mark, get to whatever K mark, and withdraw to then allow me to then get more accounts, scale up directly as well. And then, like I said, ideally you want to have like a separate set of funded accounts, or a separate funded account where you're just hitting the market harder. You're more of, okay, I'm focused, I want to get a payout as quickly as possible. And then have like a more conservative accounts where you're focusing on your win rate, you're focused on your profit factors, you're focusing on the longevity of their account as well. Of course, like I said, depending on what platform you're using. I know a lot of people that are currently using Top Step. because it's a monthly fee as well. So you're basically trying to spam as many trades until the next monthly payment. But honestly, when it comes to longevity, that based on what I've seen so far, like I said, if you're not following the challenge, drop a like right now, subscribe, follow me on Instagram so you can see every single day. I'm posting videos every single day, analyzing the charts and also showing every single trade I've made, ups and downs, wins, losses, everything, for you guys to see too. So honestly, be part of that is going to be great. But yeah, so that's basically the strategy as a whole. You want to be looking for, just to summarize, you want to be looking for three main things, right? Let me just make the screen bigger. So you want to be looking for three main things. You want to be looking for the Ichimoku Cloud crossover to like either to the green line going above the red or the red line going below the green for a buy or sell. Like I said, it's not always 100%, so don't take it as the final decision. That's why I said there's three main things that you need to look for. Ichimoku Cloud crossover, number one. Also the past in terms of time zones, like in terms of sessions. Okay, Tokyo session dumped every single time for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That gives you like an indication that the chances are it's going to do the same thing, right? Like I said, I just follow the trends. I follow the market structure. I know a lot of people's strategies are to go against the market structure. So say, for example, here, I know London normally pumps up, so I'm not surprised about that. Even here, I know London normally pumps up, so I'm not surprised about that. So if I'm in Tokyo session and it hasn't hit my TP and it's just about to be London session, I'm out. That's it. Wherever I am, I might be here, I might be here, I don't know where I am, I'm out. Does not matter. So I'll say that's very, very important, because if you don't, oh man, you're gonna be getting yourself stuck in a lot as well, where it's gonna be a problem where okay, your in Tokyo session is going your way, but then you forget about London session and they pump it all the way up to where your either your stop loss is, or whether either where your stop loss is, sorry, or where your break even, and you put your stop loss back to break even because you thought it was going to go all the way down. So like I said, the market does not owe you anything. Remember that, guys. They don't owe you anything. If you can get in and get out as quickly as possible, have a high consistency score as well in terms of your trades, honestly, it's going to do you a lot of good. So you can hit trades like this. I've even hit like a 1 to 8 trade on the FTMO challenge too. So like I said, you just want to be able to have those sniper entries, and what these sessions do, it gives you that confirmation. The crossovers, it gives you the confirmation that you need to actually place the trade. And I think that's what it's all about. The psychology, understanding that once you're in the trade, you want to let it do its thing. The only reason you should leave a trade early is if you're seeing the craziest reversal, because we always know it's always going to retrace. But there's a difference between a retracement and a mad retracement that goes all the way back to where you started. So I also believe that, hey, if it's going to go all the way back to where I started, hey, I can take profit now, wait for it to get back to where I started, and I still trust my trade. I can get back in if I want to, or if I've made enough profit, I don't need to. So I think that's the best way. So like I said, this is the best sort of strategy for beginners, just so you can understand what's going on and just have three main sort of key indicators to look for. Ichimoku Cloud, past trends as well as breaking of trend lines too. So I believe that's another key one. Like I said, those two are the number one: past sessions, Ichimoku Cloud, as well as looking at the higher highs and lower lows. So I kind of basically only look for trades at the highest highs or the lowest of lows a lot of the time. Now this one was a lower high, which I don't tend to do, but I knew it would just be like a quick sort of trade, which is why I didn't do it. It's like 1 to 9. But when it's the highest high, I put my stop loss up here and I have the trade, to the downside. I short it. It's always going to be better, because in my head I'm like, look, if it keeps going from there, clearly they just want the people that have bought in from the low to make money. So I'm using their psychology as well. And I know they don't want people to make money. So for them to make it go even higher than that, then there must be some crazy news or something like that. So yeah. So like I said, that's the strategy as a whole. Of course, the more I trade, the more I'm getting more into it as well. Like I said, I'm doing the challenge, etc. The more it will get fine tuned and it will get stronger and stronger over time. Like I said, remember, guys, there's not one strategy to do things. There's guys that do 1 to 1. There's guys that do even 1 to 0.8. So they risk 1 to get 0.8. It's not different sort of strategies. No one has a perfect strategy, but just try and fine tune your strategy as much as possible. This video is the way it is now in the beginning of the challenge, but at the end of the challenge, it may be totally different. So don't have a strategy in your head and not want to adjust at any point. Now, if you're doing it and it's working, like this is working for me clearly. If I'm doing it and it's working and I'm constantly hitting trades, then I'm gonna stay in the strategy. Hey, no problem. But now, if I see the market's changing, there's a lot of adjustments, etc., then obviously, yeah, I'm gonna look for a different sort of approach, maybe using the same sort of confluences, but I'll look for a different sort of setup as well. But like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to be dropping daily videos for you guys, just so you can understand my psychology. I want to use this channel more as a journal, just to show you what I do every single day, and then we can go from there. Thank you very much. If you guys have any questions in the comments, feel free to comment. If you have any tips for me in the comments, feel free to comment as well. If you want to talk about your trading journey, where you are currently, comment down below too. I'm looking to get a Discord set up, a completely free Discord. Like I said, I don't sell no course, no source. It just is. I always say, what is it? No course, just source. So that's what I'm all about. Of course, as of now. So like I said, you just want to make sure that you just have those key things you look for, and then you go from there. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.